This is your WW3 of a Friday morning, second video. Have you ever wondered how come wherever you live, your local administration seem to be powerless to tackle local problems, or they just totally ignore you? Or is it the fact their so-called powers are decided from people above? And this is the same thing regarding national governments, like in the European Union. When it's regarding the budget, which they call it in the United Kingdom, or the finanziaria, they call it here in Italy, is decided by others. Well, seeing Italy's in the part of the EC is Brussels, which decides. Let's say you have to spend more money on military, less on welfare, less on education, less on other social projects, and more taxes as well. And they have to cut back. Even that European Union, a bunch of non-elected bureaucrats, which no one wants, used as public institute. Just it's a, what do you call it? Gravy train to keep people in power, useless people. And Tony Blair, yes, ex-Prime Minister 26 years ago, the one who's responsible for the deaths of 1 million Iraqi people between civilians and military personnel. He's got an institution like the Clinton Foundation, basically, which they do social studies and stuff and that. What he's studying is, for the UK, local lockdowns, mandatory vaccinations in case of an outbreak. I think we all experienced this with the COVID thing, and we all know how it came out. Most of the things which they told us were absolutely bollocks, and so on. Not to get into great details about it. If you experience lockdowns, you know what I'm talking about. Here in Italy, we did experience lockdowns on a huge scale. And mainly all these legislations were unlawful because there was no legislation. They had to invent something. Now, these globalist idiots, they want what each country spends 10% on the health system to give to the United Nations, the World Health Organization, and they want United Nations to decide what country should go in lockdown for what type of so-called pandemia. Like I said, we had experienced lockdowns with COVID. It just was only pure tyranny, folks. They want to have control on the population, basically. Tony Blair is a sponsored communist individual. And this is what it's all about. Globalists, they're communists in the story. If you know what communism is all about, read your history books. And I don't think what should be decided for you locally and on a national level is decided where else. Overseas, in the UN building, no. Each country has its constitution, has its own parliament, has its due process, whether it's good or bad. That's the system. Why should we bow down to these bureaucrats, globalists, which are a bunch of insane people, sociopaths, they're a lot more worse than Hitler, a lot more worse than Stalin, a lot more worse than Mussolini put together, or any other type of dictator who killed their population in the thousands. Because it's a mixture of fascism and communism put together. They pronounce and profess social justice. There's nothing got to do with social justice if you want to have a totalitarian or tyrannic regime.